One day in the summer, towards evening, a boy named Vidya was walking in his yard and playing football with his friend. But Vidya's friend hurried home after a while. His mother caught him for dinner. Now Vidya was left alone on the site because it was almost 10 p.m. and the rest of the guys had already gone home. The boy kicked the ball a little more and headed towards his house. He was not afraid to walk alone because even at such a late hour it was quite light on the street. However, when Vidya walked near the open basement, he saw strange flashes sparkling in the crack between the wall and the door. This puzzled and interested him very much, but going down into the dark basement was still scary. The most interesting thing is that the flashes appeared at regular intervals. First one flash appeared and slowly faded, and after a few seconds, you could see the next flash, as if someone had arranged a photo shoot in this place. Vidya stood next to the door to the basement for some time, but did not dare to go there, and soon headed home. The boy did not tell his parents anything about this incident and, going to bed late at night, even managed to forget about the strange incident. But 2 days after this evening walk, he learned the terrible news. It turns out that someone brutally dealt with one girl who lived in Vidya's yard. An unknown maniac cut off the unfortunate child's head in the basement and cut her body into many pieces. The police arrived, began to investigate, interviewed witnesses, found out if anyone had seen suspicious people, but nothing useful was learned. Vidya, of course, told the police about strange flashes in this basement, although they did not attach much importance to this and scolded the boy, asking him not to interface with the investigation. Vidya was offended because he was sure that these outbursts were somehow connected with the girl's terrible death, but he didn't know what to do. A few days later, the boy went to an Aikido class, which ended at 8 p.m. Vidya's parents told him not to stay late and come home immediately after training due to the recent tragedy. But the boy did not listen and decided to visit his friend for a while to play with him on the console. When the guys had played enough games on the console, it was already too late. Vidya quickly got dressed, said goodbye to his friend, and hurried to his home. The boy, walking along the road to the house, constantly turned around and sometimes even started to run lightly. He was afraid of the maniac who had dealt with the girl in the basement. Vidya had almost reached his entrance, but then the boy again saw strange flashes behind the door leading to the basement. It was a completely different basement, but it was located not far from the basement where the girl died. Vidya again felt very scared, but this time curiosity prevailed over fear and, turning on the flashlight on his phone, the boy carefully entered the basement. Almost immediately, he saw the reason for the strange flashes. There was a camera on the concrete slab that took a photo with a flash every few seconds. At this time, it became very light, and one could see the entire basement even without the light of a lantern. Vidya began to slowly approach the stove, wanting to take the camera for himself. But the question was still swirling in his head about where this camera came from, and why did someone leave it here for such a strange idea. Very soon the boy found out the answer to his question. When Vidya was almost approaching the camera, he noticed something quickly flash in the broken mirror that stood not far from the wall. The boy turned around and was horrified, because behind him, just a few steps away, was a huge and scary man with an axe. With the next flash, one could see all the anger and hatred that was reflected in the eyes of the insane maniac. The killer swung an axe, but Vidya managed to jump to the side at the last moment, and the blow hit the camera, causing it to shatter. The boy rushed towards the exit like a bullet, miraculously not tripping over the pipes in the basement in the dark, and jumped out. The maniac rushed in pursuit of his victim, and soon the two of them were running down the street. Fortunately, Vijay encountered two men who saved him from an unenviable fate and neutralized the dangerous criminal. Later it turned out that this maniac hunted children, luring them into the basement using a camera. The killer placed the camera in a visible place, turned on the flash, set the automatic shooting mode, and attacked his victims from behind. For this, he was sentenced to life imprisonment, and no more children died in this city.